Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's look, I did a Patrick Ta inspired look. It's the look that he did on Haley Steinfeld, I think is how you pronounce her last name. I know her, like I know who she is, but I always mispronounce her last name. But yeah, he did this like bronze smoky eye kind of. His was a lot more smoky than mine, but I like the way this looks, so I don't even care. I like took notes and everything on the video. So yeah, if you want to see how I got to this point, then keep watching. Okay, so this is what I'm looking like. This is pretty scary, but you know, we're just gonna do it. I wrote down all the steps. So like I took notes while I was watching the video. So yeah, we're gonna start with some skin prep. So normally I do this, like he did a lot of like skincare kind of skin prep, if that makes sense. And normally I do this when I like do my skincare, but I'm gonna do it here today at my vanity. So yeah, because he didn't use a primer, he just did this. So yeah, so first he starts with moisturizing, and he used an oil. I don't have an oil I used to have the Tarte Maracuja oil, but I got rid of it because it was just getting old and stuff. So I'm just going to use my normal serum that I use with my skincare. It's the Mario Badescu Super Peptide Serum. And I'm just going to take a few squirts of this in my hand, like 3 to 4. And I'm going to take a brush. This is the Madison Miller M02 Full Foundation Brush. This is just stained. It has nothing on it right now because I use this for primer if I apply primer with my brush. So I'm just taking some of that in my hand and I'm applying it like this, kind of brushing upward. I have some problems going on with my skin right now, so I might need to like alter his routine a little bit because Haley had great skin and I don't have that right now, so. Okay, so then he does the same thing with moisturizer. So I'm using the Ordinary Natural Moisturizing Factors and HA Surface Hydration Formula. And I'm just gonna apply a little bit of this into my hand. You don't need a lot. And I'm gonna take the same brush and just apply this all over the face. Okay, and then he uses an eye cream next. So I'm going to use my Mario Badescu Ceramide Eye Gel. And I'm just going to take a little bit of this with my ring finger and apply it under my eyes. Okay, and now he does his eyes first when he does makeup, so that's what I'm going to do. He preps his lids with the P. Louise base. I don't have that. I've been wanting to get it, but I just haven't yet. So I'm just going to use concealer because I prefer this over other bases. So this is the NYX Born to Glow Radiant Concealer. And I'm just going to apply it to the back of my hand, like that. And I'm going to take a brush. This is the IT Cosmetics number 212 Essential Concealer Brush. And I'm just going to prep my lids with this. And I'm gonna really extend it out here. And then I'm just gonna take my sponge and just blend the rest of that out. Like that. Everything is set and prepped, ready to go. We can move on to the eyes. Now he uses those little like gel patch things to, just prep the under eyes a little bit, but also to like make it nice and clean when he takes them off, the edges of the eyeshadow. But I don't have any right now, so I'm just gonna use a makeup wipe later when we're done with the eyes. So then he uses a cream shadow with a fluffy brush and he just brushes it everywhere. So I have this CoverGirl Exhibitionist lid paint in the shade Coconuts. I've never tried it before and it looks interesting, so I want to try it. It looks like this. It looks like a little tube of paint, and I'm just going to put this on my hand. That's definitely way too much. I definitely don't need that much, but whatever. And I'm going to take a fluffy brush. This is the Morphe M441. And I'm just going to kind of move it around on my hand. And then just put it all over my lid. I was afraid this was going to be too cool tone, but it's actually pretty neutral to cool. So I'm not mad about it. That actually works really nicely. I'm very impressed with that. I'm just gonna layer it and build it up, and I'm bringing it really far out. I want to extend the eye. So now that we have this pretty even layer down, we can go in with some powder shadow to go over top of it to kind of set it in place. I'm gonna take the Nubian palette by Juvia's Place and this shadow right here on that same brush. And I'm just gonna dust that over it. This will bring in a little bit more warmth, I think. Yeah, it definitely warmed it up a little bit, which I like. And then I'm gonna take that same color, but I'm gonna mix it a little bit with this one right here. And on the same brush, and I'm just gonna focus it on the outer half of my lid and my crease to just deepen it and give it some dimension. So it's not just all one shade. Now we can go in with some liner. I'm going to use this Essence Extreme Lasting Eye Pencil in the shade But First Espresso. It's like a chocolate brown. Just applying it to the outer part of my lash line. Kind of messy. And then I'm gonna blend it out with a pencil brush. This is the Morphe M431, and I'm just gonna smudge it out. Okay, and I want to deepen it up a little bit more on the edges, so I'm gonna take the same pencil brush, but a mixture between this brown shade and this one in the palette, and just further deepen the entire outer V. And then I'm gonna go back in with that fluffy brush with no additional product and just blend over that. Now I wanna add some shimmer. That's what Patrick did in the video. So I'm gonna take the fluffy brush and my Mellow Cosmetics Glitter Chrome Eyeshadow in the shade Golden Glow. And I'm just gonna take some of this and dust it over my lid so that just when the light hits it, it shimmers really pretty. Putting that over the entire lid space. That's so pretty. I really like the way that looks. Okay, now I'm gonna curl my lashes, but we're gonna do mascara later, so I might have to re-curl them. But this is my Tarte eyelash curler that I always use, in case you were wondering. Now I'm just going to remove this like extra shadow here and clean it up like that. I'm not going directly like against my lower lash line. You could see some of the shadow is still there. I'm just gonna apply some lip balm. This is the Too Faced Peach Lip Balm. You can do this in the beginning or now before we get into the face makeup. So now we're gonna do foundation. I'm gonna take the Anastasia Luminous Foundation and I'll take 2 pumps of that. Normally I do 1 pump, but my skin needs a little bit of help today. So I put that on the back of my hand. And I'm gonna take a more flat foundation brush. This is the e.l.f. Airbrush Blender Brush. And I'm just gonna take some of that and start blending it. And we're gonna go over it after slightly with our sponge, but this is just gonna get the product everywhere where we want it. I'm gonna bring it down my neck a little bit. And then I'm just gonna take whatever is left on my hand and blend over the entire face with my sponge. Now we're gonna do cream contour. I'm gonna use the Anastasia contour cream kit. This is the light palette. And Patrick used a like dense fan brush, but I only have like fluffier fan brushes and I feel like it wouldn't work as well with the cream. So I'm just gonna use, oh my god, my nose is so itchy. I'm gonna use a normal brush. This is the BH Cosmetics 128. And I think I'm gonna take the shade Java right here. It's the lightest contour shade. Yeah, and I'm just going to apply this to the hollows of my cheekbones. I'm using a few different products than I normally use in this video because I really wanted to try to get it close to Patrick's outcome. And the cream like contour that I use is more like a cream bronzer and it's pretty warm, so I wanted to use a more like neutral, cool toned contour. And I'm making sure to blend up because you don't want to go below because then it's just gonna drag your face down. And we're not using a lot of powder today, so I'm not even gonna like clean it up that much, I don't think. I'm gonna do my forehead as well. And I'm gonna go on my jawline as well. And then I'm gonna go back in with my foundation brush and with like whatever is left on it and just blend over the contour a little bit so it's not as harsh and like muddy looking. So now I'm gonna take more of my concealer on the back of my hand and we're gonna apply this under our eyes and anywhere that we want to highlight. So I'm gonna take the same brush that we used as well to apply it. And then we're gonna use a more like fluffy brush to blend it out and then a sponge to just go over it and make sure it's all blended. So I'm applying it under my eyes, a little bit in between my brows and my forehead, down the center of the nose, my upper lip, and my chin, like that. And then I'm gonna blend this out with my sponge in my T-zone, and then under my eyes, we'll go in with a fluffy brush to get close to the lower lash line, and we'll also use my sponge. The brush I'm gonna use is the Morphe M461. It's like this really cool brush. We're gonna blend these edges between the shadow and the concealer. And I'm gonna blend over all that with my sponge. I really like the way this is looking so far. Now I'm gonna take some bronzer with an angled brush. This is the Juno & Co. angled brush, and I'm gonna take my Maybelline City bronzer in the shade 100. Yeah, and I'm just going to tap this everywhere where we had put that contour to kind of set it in place. We're not gonna really sweep that much because then we'll disrupt the creams that we have down. Down by the jawline, you can use more of a sweeping motion and just dragging it down the neck. I think this looks really good so far. The forehead looks a little bit muddy, but I might be able to fix that. I'm gonna take a little bit more of that bronzer on our eyeshadow brush and just add it to the look slightly. But this just helps to tie the whole face together. Now I'm gonna take my loose powder. This is the Wet n Wild Photo Focus powder. And I'm just going to use this with my Morphe sponge because it has this really thin edge right there. And we're going to put this on like the bridge of our nose. I really want to get this straight. I don't want to mess it up. It's kind of hard to do on yourself. Okay, so we have the little line. Then I want to take some of the contour and just go against the powder so we can just contour the nose a little bit. So I'm taking the e.l.f. 201 brush and I'm just gonna go along the sides. I'm gonna bring it up into my shadow as well because that's how I normally contour my nose. And then underneath as well to lift it. I might go in later and add a little bit more contour because I like a pretty contoured nose, but we'll see how it ends up looking. Now I'm gonna take some pressed powder and just set my T-zone. This is the Maybelline Fit Me Set and Smooth powder in the shade Porcelain. And I'm taking this BH Cosmetics 125 brush. It looks like it has blue on it because I had used it with a more like editorial kind of look. I don't even know, but it's clean, but it's just stained from the blue shadow. So I'm just setting my T-zone with this. So under my eyes as well. But we still want to keep a dewy finish. So you can see my cheek has like a slight sheen to it still, but we're still set. I'm just going to dust away this little powder on my nose as well. Like that. Oh, that actually looks pretty good. I don't think I'm gonna re-contour. Looks pretty good. Interesting, okay. See, this is why we try different techniques and stuff, because you never know what might work for you. I have stuff all over my hand and I don't want to get it on my white t-shirt. This like eyeshadow it is really hard to get off, which is good. I want to see, is it like waterproof and stuff? Highly pigmented, waterproof, crease proof, and fade proof. That's really good to know. Okay, so now we can get into some blush. We're gonna take a powder blush first. He uses his like little duo things. I don't have those, but I do have his normal blush. I wanted to do this video because I got some Patrick Ta makeup for Christmas and I really wanted to use it. So this, I already have one of his blushes in the shade She's Sincere, but this is a different one. This is the Monochrome Moment Velvet Blush in the shade She's Passionate. So this is a very bright blush. He used a more like muted one in his video, but I really want to try my new stuff out. I'm obsessed with his packaging. So this is what the blush looks like. I'm going to take it with my crown brush, this angled brush. His blushes aren't like crazy pigmented though, so I feel like this looks really bright, but it'll be fine. And I'm just going to pat this on my cheek area. And I like a lot of blush. So this is definitely a lot, like we're gonna tone it down, but I like a lot of blush. So I'm just going to go over that with my powder brush that we had used and just like tone it down a little bit. Blush is also the first thing to fade when it comes to makeup. So I don't really mind if it looks a little bright right now because by the end of the video, it'll probably be toned down a lot. That looks really good to me. Okay, then he goes in with a cream blush with a sponge to bring back some luminosity that we may have lost. Again, I don't have this little duo with the cream and the powder, so I'm just gonna use a different cream that I always use. This is the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek in the shade Work. It's not like close to the, oh my God, why can't I get the little lid off? Okay. It's a different shade than the powder blush I used, but this might tone down the coralness of it. So I'm going to use it. I just put some on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna take my sponge and just like a different side of it and just tap it on. It's not gonna make a huge difference, but it will bring back some of that dewiness. And we're gonna do this with highlighter as well. We're gonna use like a cream, which I was so intrigued like to see him do this, because like the typical rule to makeup is like you don't put creams over powders, but his logic was like I do it with like a sponge and I do it lightly so that it brings back luminosity, and I thought that was such a good idea. So again, I'm just gonna go over it with the powder brush though to tone it down. This looks so good. I'm obsessed with this. Okay, so we're gonna go finish with the eyes. I keep looking down because I have my little notes here. So we're gonna finish the eyes. I'm gonna take some of that brown powder on my lower lash line with that pencil brush. So I think I'm just gonna mix these two shades that we mixed earlier and just bring that across my entire lower lash line. And then I'm gonna take the darkest little matte shade and just focus this on the outer part of my lower lash line. I love this so much. Now we can do mascara. I'm going to use the L'Oreal Air Volume Mega Mascara on my top lashes and the MAC Extended Play Giga Black lash on my bottom. He uses this on the bottom lashes, so that's what I'm gonna do. He also applied some individual false lashes, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna focus the mascara on this outer corner. Little specks that I got on my face from the mascara. I'm really loving this, guys. We can do brown pencil liner on our tight line, so I'm gonna take the same one. Now we can do some glow. He used his like body glow, I don't even know what it's called. I really want it, it looks so cool, but I don't have that. So I'm gonna use the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Glotion. It says Natural Glow Enhancer, and this one is in the shade Light Glow. And I'm just gonna apply this to the back of my hand, like that, and take another section of my sponge and just kind of like tap it around and apply this to the cheeks. And I'm gonna apply it to the sides of the forehead and the chin, my cupid's bow, down my nose and the tip of my nose. That looks so good. I'm gonna take my foundation brush and just tap over it so it's not as intense. That's the kind of highlight glow I like, because I don't like a really shimmery highlight on my face anymore that much, but this just looks so good. Like, it looks like I'm sweating in the most beautiful way ever. Okay, what does he have next on here? Okay, now we just have lips and brows. So I have a few of his lip products here, and a few of them he actually used in the video. So first I have the Monochrome Moment Precision Lip Crayon in the shade She's Bold. He used the shade She's Proud. I don't have that one, so I'm just gonna use this one. This one might be slightly darker, I don't really know. But the packaging is so cool, and it like clicks up, which is so cool. I've never had a lip liner like that. So yeah, I'm just gonna overline the lips a little bit, and then we'll move on to the lipstick. That's a really pretty color. I really like that color a lot. This is a really like smooth lip liner. I really like this. Then he used his lipstick in this shade. It's in the shade Oh She's Single. It's the Major Headlines Matte Suede Lipstick. Again, his packaging is just so luxurious. I'm obsessed with it. Yeah, I'm just gonna apply this all over the lips. This is like a more peachy color. Oh my god, this looks so good. This looks like I need to go out with this makeup on. Like I'm literally gonna sit home all day. This looks so good. Okay, not me feeling myself over here. Then he used his lip cream. This is in the shade She's Independent. Yeah, it's the Monochrome Moment Silky Lip Creme. Sorry. This is like a brown kind of shade. Just the packaging on it. It's that like mirrored rose gold. It's so nice. And I love these applicators. They have like the point, so it's really easy to get a nice line. And then he used a lighter shade of this to lighten the center, but I don't have another shade of it. So I'm just gonna use a different gloss. This is the Milani Keep It Full Nourishing Lip Plumper in the shade Champagne that I've been using. I'm just gonna apply it on the back of my hand and then pat it in the center of my lip. This is the shade, by the way. I'm obsessing right now. Like, I hope someone thinks I look pretty. Okay, now we're just gonna do some brows. He used his like soap brow moment. I don't have his, but I have this one from Makeup Revolution, and the packaging looks like so similar. It's the Soap Styler, and this is what it looks like. I'm gonna take this brush from Morphe. It's the Morphe R44 brush. It's just a spoolie and an angled brush, but I'm just gonna brush my brows up first. And then he used his Patrick Ta Major Glow Dewy Milk Mist, and it's called She's Thirsty. I think that's so good. I love the names of all his products. It's so cool. But if this doesn't look like the most expensive thing ever, I don't know what does. Like, hello? Look how expensive this looks. I mean, it is expensive, but yeah. I'm gonna apply this in the soap to activate it. And just dip my brush in there. And then the way he explained he uses it is he just brushes the brows up lightly with it first. And he lets the wax kind of like set. And then once it's set, he takes the other end of the brush and like presses it down to get that laminated moment. So I'm just gonna leave it like this for now and do the other brow. I'm obsessed with this. So now that both are kind of setting down, I'm gonna take this side of the brush and just press down. And then I'm just gonna brush through it again so that it doesn't look too plastered. My brow hairs are so long. I think I should trim them a little bit. Actually, let me press this side first. My brows look like caterpillars. I'm going to just trim them a little bit because, oh god, they're a little long. I love this. Okay, after the brows, he used like a body oil on Haley, but I'm wearing like just a white t-shirt, so I'm not gonna do that. But I am going to set my face with the setting mist. It has a really nice spray on it, by the way. Yeah, that's the makeup look. I'm feeling myself. Let me take my hair out of this like turban. Oh my god, if I can get it undone. Hello. So I'm just gonna like scrunch my hair kinda. I'm gonna brush this brow a little bit this way because it's just a little extreme. Yeah, that looks better. I'm gonna take this Monet Studio One Frizz Fix Smoothing Hair Primer. I'm just gonna take like 3 pumps of it. I don't know how much to use. In my hands and just kind of scrunch it because my hair gets kind of frizzy. Yeah, if you guys liked this, I know the video was kind of long, but let me know. I have lip liner right there. Let me know, and maybe I can do like other looks inspired by makeup artists and stuff. But yeah, I'm gonna go now because I've been filming for way too long. This video is gonna be so long, but I'm sorry. But yeah, I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye.